lightheaded. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So I have an update. Probably the most important update of this entire series, or something we were waiting for all this time. It's an update on whether the choice we made to move forward with the final session 4, 5-day session of chemo on Monday. Now, remember, on Monday, my numbers weren't where anybody wanted them to be. And quite frankly, the doc took some convincing. Let me tell you how it went. He's looking at all the data in his computer, and Jen and I are sitting in his office. But the thing is we're so on top of my blood numbers that, he was kind of hinting at, the infection in my arm. That would be nice if we waited another week and let my natural body and recover from it, as well as the antibiotics, and it wouldn't be so bad if we held off a week. And the thing is I didn't want to wait a week because I know it's screwing up the cadence. So Jen and I said to the doctor, I said, hey, look, can we hit you with some empirical data here? We have been watching all the numbers as well as everybody else, but we stated our case. We went back to the last cycle and we showed how my body recovered from the chemo and how my blood work numbers all came back. And they were not where they wanted to be. They were below on the fence. So it was a total game day decision we made on Monday. And, the doctor, he respected the empirical data. He looked away from his computer and he gave Jen and I his full attention, and he looked at us and, he was happy with what we said, even though the white blood cells were at 55. The platelets were at 55, which just isn't where they wanted to be. We were expecting higher than that. But it was showing improvement the whole way because we had the data to prove it. So he went back to his computer, and then finally determination was he looked at me and he said, how do you feel? And I said, Doc, I'm 100%. Let's push through this. Let's get this done. I know my body will respond. I won't let you down. Seriously, we won. We made the right choice. I'm vindicated. Jen's vindicated. The doc is vindicated. Let me just hit you with the 3 most important ones. Platelets. On Monday, gut check day, they were at 55. Today, they're not where we wanted them to be, but they're at 61. It's a marked improvement, and I'm sure Friday is going to be even better. Potassium, within the realm by 1 point. And magnesium is way up to 1.4, 1.6 is green. So all the numbers, and the white blood cells are through the roof. The norm is 4 to 11. We're at 15, which means they're working at hyperspeed. That white blood cell shot that we got a couple of weeks ago, this is when it kicks in. So all my numbers, all my blood work is where it wants to be. It's all showing improvements. So the decision we made, point blank, was an emotional one as well as an empirically reached one. And it's only because Jen and I as a team were able to come at the doctor with real numbers and say, well, Doc, believe in me, believe in my body. I know I can recover. I know I can finish this chemo the way we have to finish it, and not pause and not endanger the whole process we've been working all these months at. So today is a huge vindication day, probably the best day, and the most stressed it's been since Friday, really. It's always in the back of your head, did I make the right call? I have never been so involved in a medical decision that actually affects my life, and I've gotten feedback from the nurses here that, most people say they want to be involved in the doctor's decision and everything, but and all the surveys say that, but the real boots on the ground here says that most people just say, Doc, fix me, it's your job, and they don't get involved. And what happens is the doctor has to make a decision off what he sees on a screen and not what's going on behind the scenes, quite frankly. And this is why you have to stay involved in this whole thing. If you got a partner like Jen, God bless you, you're the luckiest person on the planet, because she's documenting all this stuff. And I was able to reference going back 2 months of this data and hit the dock with it and push this thing through and get it done. So victory all the way around. Great job, Jen. You are the best wife ever. You know, great job, staff. You know, we're not out of the woods yet, and there is potential if the CT scans don't come back the way they're going, that we want them to, and the cancer is, remember, we're going for 100%. If there's any fluctuation or not exactly where we want it, we're already going to be ready. I'm still going to be in here for 2 weeks getting fluids and preparing for a potential 5th run, 5-day run of chemo if necessary. We're in this to win this, and I'm not quitting until it's done. So, great day for Team Salty. Great day. I hope all your days go like today went. This is what we live for, kids. Stay strong.